Hello! Today we're going to talk about the continents and learn about the only continent we have not talked about yet. This is our planet Earth. There are 7 continents on the planet Earth. North America, South America, Africa, Europe and Asia. Don't forget Australia. Don't forget Antarctica. North America, South America, Africa, Europe and Asia. We learned about North America because that's where we live. We learned about South America with its rainforest and that slow sloth. We learned about Antarctica, where it is so cold that nobody can really live there, and we try to carry an egg on our feet like the penguins. We learned about the biggest continent, Asia. We tried to make Chinese dragons and lanterns for the Chinese New Year. We learned about the snow festival in Japan and India and Sri Lanka. We studied Europe with Big Ben in England, the Leaning Tower of Pisa in Italy, and we tried to lay under the table and paint the way Michelangelo did, upside down. We learned about Africa. We learned that all zebras have different stripes, not just like we have different fingerprints, and we tried to make our very own zebras. We saw how big an ostrich egg is. Now we're going to move on to Australia. Boing, boing, where could you watch kangaroos jumping? The continent of Australia. A continent is a big piece of land. There are 7 continents on Earth. Australia is the smallest. Australia is the only continent that is also a country. Australia's capital is Canberra. The island of Tasmania is also part of Australia. And down there is the island of Tasmania. This is a forest of eucalyptus trees on Tasmania. Oceans surround Australia on all sides. Surf's up! Australians swim and surf in the continent's ocean waters. On the northeastern coast of Australia is the Great Barrier Reef. It is the world's largest coral reef. Animals called corals live in the warm waters around the reef. The highest parts of Australia are in the south and east. Catch air! Australians enjoy skiing and snowboarding there in the winter. Farmers grow wheat in the lowest parts of Australia. This land lies near the middle of the continent. Deserts cover much of Western Australia. Watch out for snakes like the desert death adder. The grasslands of Western Australia feed huge herds of cattle and sheep. These are merino sheep. They are kicking up dust as they go into a paddock or holding area. Remember the jumping kangaroo? They are marsupials. Marsupials carry their babies in pouches. Platypus are found only in Australia. They have a wide, flat nose called a snout. Munch, munch, this koala is eating the leaves of a eucalyptus tree. Acacia trees are found all over Australia. Some kinds of acacia trees have bright flowers. Most Australians live in large cities along the coast. Sydney is the biggest city. One of Sydney's famous buildings is the Opera House. Here singers perform a musical plays called operas. If you don't know what an opera is, in an opera, people never talk. Anything you want to do is you have to sing. If you want to have something to eat, you would say, "Mommy, may I please have something to eat?" Few people live in the outback. This is the open countryside in the middle of Australia. Zoom! Some people in the outback get around by airplane. Australia has many interesting parts. Do you know about Ayers Rock? The Aborigines or very first Australians called the huge rock Uluru. There's always something new to learn about Australia. And here I have a picture of the Sydney Opera House, the Uluru, and the flag of Australia. That is all for today. Our next lesson will be about the animals in Australia. See you soon.